You ready?
Welcome back to another episode of Shit I'm 30.
First of all, you're not going to start.
You just said start off.
Can you have a little bit more enthusiasm behind it?
That wasn't enthusiasm. Bitch, that was.
No,
That was.
Start again.
Now, you ain't going to be talking to me like that on the air. Welcome back to another episode of Shit I'm 30 with your host, Anthony Bertram. And I have here with me the...
One and only Carla Ramirez.
That was so green. That was so green, girl, that we just did.
You're so stupid.
Huh?
Today we have in the studio with us an amazing guest with us. Do you go by Shay or Lachey?
Shay.
Shay.
Cool.
We got Shay with us today. Yes. It's hot in here. Should I open the door?
No, I mean, I don't care. Shay, where are you from again?
I am from West Palm Beach.
Okay.
South
Okay.
Florida.
Mike.
Oh, cool.
All the way up on the mic.
Oh.
Or
Yeah.
you can pull it towards you if you want.
Okay, so I can do this. All right, I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
I used to sing in a choir for 2 days.
For 2 days.
2 days. So tell us a little bit about yourself then.
Man, okay, so like I said, I am from South Florida. One time for West Palm Beach, actually Riviera Beach, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So we grew up in poverty. I am the fourth child out of 6, so it's a lot of us, right? And we grew up receiving all types of public assistance. So my mom had a high school diploma. My father did not. They made about $25,000 combined. And so with that, trying to take care of 8 people, it was real rough. So that's where I'm from, West Palm Beach, from the Raw.
Not too far. Not too far.
I have
Not
a
at all.
friend from West Palm Beach. It was kind of hood, child.
That is a true statement.
Yeah.
Yes, I will say that.
Isn't like the hood Palm Beach?
No, Palm Beach is where the rich people live.
Yes.
That's where
Riviera
Donald
Beach,
Trump,
as
yeah.
what they call it. I grew up calling it Riviera Beach. You know, I didn't pronounce all of my I's. So,
Me either, child.
All right, well, let's go straight into our shit you should know for this week. You want to go ahead and take it, Anthony?
All right, so the shit you should know since we were talking about Trump and what was it?
You know,
Palm
we're not
Beach.
going to run out of content with Trump ever.
No, we're not.
It's
We're not.
like a movie. It's always something going on. It's like an episode of Netflix. Like, it's just always
Child,
going.
he just came up with another immigration plan, child.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's just going to make it tougher now. But this is not the shit you should know. This is off topic, by the way, you guys. But yeah, his immigration plan is now saying that they are no longer, they're looking not to approve immigrants from a family base. Like, you have to have a higher education or something like that. You have to either be a doctor or an attorney.
So his dumbass and his family can't come. Send them
Yeah,
back.
yeah. So it's getting a little bit strict. But to be honest with you, what they were saying is that we really don't have clear immigration laws in the first place. Like, how do you become a
Right.
citizen? So that's that. But the Trump administration is now delaying the release of the new $20 bill with Harriet Tubman that was supposed to be released in 2020 next year. They're pushing it back to 2028.
How long? That's a long time.
That's a long ass time, child. That's when Trump is far gone.
dead because he's old.
But basically, the reason why they're saying this is that the secretary, his name is Steve. I don't know what his last name is, but it's an N right next to the M. So I want to say Munchkin, but whatever his name is Steve. All right. Mnuchin. Okay, that's how you pronounce his name. So Steve Mnuchin is saying that they need more time to basically make the $20 bill more secure. They are concerned about counterfeiting and also security concerns. So the Obama administration went ahead and approved this during their time to go ahead and replace Andrew Jackson, which was the 7th president. He was also slave owners. I was telling Carla earlier today we had a high school in Jacksonville called Andrew Jackson, and most of our high schools named after slave owners, which is kind of crazy. I graduated from Robert E. Lee, you guys, which is a little fun fact. But yeah, we were looking to replace him. And put Harriet Tubman on there, and we're going to do it in 2020 in honor of the 19th Amendment. It was going to be the 100th-year anniversary, which gave women the rights to vote. So this was actually a bipartisan agreement that both sides agreed on to do. And for Trump to go ahead and delay this, it's kind of some bullshit because, again, it's just supporting his base, which is fueling racism. There's no other reason not to go ahead and release
Did
this.
they give a reason?
They said because of anti-counterfeiting and security features. They need more time to come up with that.
They need that much. They can build a wall and right away.
Right.
But for anti-counterfeit,
Yeah.
it takes 10 years, bitch.
Exactly, bitch. Exactly. And the thing about it is,
You play so much.
It's really up to the hands of the secretary, but they can actually get this done as soon as possible. When what's the man died? His son, the Kennedy. When John F. Kennedy passed away, they were able to put him on the 50-cent coin within 3 months. Right. So it's up to the administration on how quickly they want this done. But there is a petition going around to have people sign to actually get this done immediately because it can get done.
Well, they need to get it done. I mean, it doesn't matter who signs. We can. Every person of color can sign that motherfucker. He's not gonna care.
Right. The thing about it is, black people have not really been represented in American history whatsoever. We're not really honored. So to have a black person on a $20 bill is huge, like on any type of U.S. currency.
Right.
And especially a woman.
They should put me. They're waiting for me.
Girl,
By
I think
20,
you gotta
20,
do a little
28.
bit more shit. You gotta talk more shit to get on anybody's. And this is a
Put
first.
me on a quarter, bitch. Put me on the quarter.
Child, doing my research, I found out we have a $500 bill, a $1,000 bill, and a $100,000 bill, bitch. We actually
So
have
who's
that.
on them?
So some presidents that you don't know and I can't remember. So
I only know 44. That's the
that's
only
the
one
only
I
one we
know.
recognize. Only
Right.
Christopher Knowledge Wallace.
Oh, and the first one.
George Washington?
George
That
Washington.
nigga owned slaves too.
I mean,
He
they
did.
everyone owned
They
slaves
did.
back then. Who didn't?
You know, yeah, didn't Abraham Lincoln own slaves? No, he didn't own. Did he own
They
slaves?
owned them. If not, their family owned them. And it's all about how they treated them, essentially, you know?
Hmm.
I think every white person that colonized the United States had a slave of some
They
sort.
probably did.
There's no
I
way
think it was like, come over to America, we'll give you land and a slave. So come on. This new spoof on Netflix, child. What they do is they make fun of like people in history. So they made fun about Abraham Lincoln and shit, I forgot what I was about to say.
See, that's what happens when you smoke too much.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, it was funny.
Anyways, back to the fact that we have Shay here in the building with us. We decided to do, it's been a while. Episode 19 was the last time we talked about finances on the show.
And I can't remember nothing about that episode except somebody talking about they have a pretty little Range Rover and that the girl is broke and a whole bunch of letters behind somebody's name. That's the only thing I remember from the episode. So this is why we decided to come back and actually educate the people and bring somebody here where we can talk about financial literacy and to get you guys on the right track. So
That was the episode where Mandy was on a call, and it was a great episode, but at the same time, I wanted to bring it back to, like, basics, because we talk about finance and how we're going to get ourselves back, like, get us to a certain point or build our wealth, and everyone's just like, yeah, it's great, I want to build wealth, I want to buy real estate, I want to get stocks, but where do we start?
Right.
You know, where does it all start? And then, Shay, I believe you work with children, teaching
Yes.
financial literacy.
Yes, I work with children starting at the age of 8 years old. We have a nonprofit called 8 Cents in a Jar, where we want our students to, one, avoid the pitfalls of money management, not try to hire a credit repair specialist at $1,000 a month to
Hello.
repair their credit score to go up 10 points. That was a little shade. But most importantly, we want them to start building wealth at an early age. Most people think that it's complicated. It's
Right.
not complicated. It's just not taught to us, especially when we're young, when we have time on our side.
Right.
So with all of our students, by the time they reach 28 years of age, they will have a net worth of at least $8,000 if they
Hello.
go through all of our programs and services.
you know, that's awesome. When I went away to college, I realized that I was not taught anything about budgeting or anything like that. And I kind of went off on my mom about that. And she responded back to me. I was like, listen, I can't teach you something I never learned.
Exactly.
So the fact that you're teaching this now as with kids
Ayana
is
actually
huge.
came home yesterday. So today was the last day of school, but yesterday she's in 8th grade. And I was like, how was school today? And she's like, oh, we didn't really do anything. But actually, my favorite part was this one class. And I'm like, why? She goes, we talked about credit.
Yay!
And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
really? What teacher? And it was just a random class because, you know, those last couple of days that they can't bring backpacks, they can't do anything. And they were talking about credit. And I said, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, yeah, I've heard you talking about it, Mom. I'm like, well, you paying attention to me, girl?
Child,
Okay.
I ain't never hear my mom or my family talk about credit because they bought everything cash. Even now to this day, my mom doesn't have anything on her credit report. At all.
Nothing?
Nothing.
What about a
Probably
light
like
bill?
Probably like a $50 bill or something like that. I swear. No, I take that back. It's a $2,500 student loan that she took out back in 1990 or something
Wow.
like that. That's the
Wow.
only thing that's on her credit
Well,
report.
what I liked about you when we were looking up different financial advisors to bring on, it was the fact that I feel like we should all start from ground zero.
Yes.
And since you're teaching children, it's not about, Well, kind of, let's dumb it down a little bit because all these words and all these letters and it all sounds so complicated. Just like real estate with you, just myself with accounting is like assets and liabilities and credits, and everybody's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So how do you do this with financial literacy? So how do you start basically with the kids? What's your first thing that you tell them,
So the first thing that I have to do is tell them my story and keep it real.
Give us your story.
They have to trust me in order to believe what I say. So as mentioned, I am from Revere Beach, the Raw. And so third generation in poverty. When I was 14, my sister was diagnosed with cancer. And then my mom, she went into the hospital and never came out.
Wow.
She had a Wilms tumor, or she had an aneurysm. But because we had Medicaid, the attendant on duty put us last on the list because they assumed we couldn't pay, which was true, but that's not their understanding the judge. So we sued the hospital for $4.2 million and got it.
Wow.
In 24 months, 10 days, 42 seconds, $4.2 million was gone.
That happened to a friend of mine.
Yes. And so through high school.
You just knocked the wind out of me.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many years again? 4 years?
Yes.
4 million, 4 years. So you went through $1 million a year.
So actually, no, 24 months, just 2 years.
Oh, wait,
so
2
2 years, 10 months.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, my friend went through $2 million in like 18 months.
Yes.
He was 18.
And
when
that's
he
the
got that money,
norm.
though.
So
Yeah.
most people don't think about it.
Yeah.
And as a result, we tried to get back on public assistance. They was like, nah, bruh, you got money or you had money, so you on your own. So through high school, I was staying with relatives. It turned into distant relatives. And so I was really just staying on my aunt's couch and had 4 laundry baskets of clothes.
Wow.
So I literally walked onto FAMU through a prayer and me crying, saying, if I go back home, I won't be able to survive. Freshman year, I got pregnant, so I was a teenage mom. During that same year, my grandmother died from AIDS. Sophomore year, my father goes into hospice. I took out student loans to bury him just in case. He passed away, and he did. So I adopted my younger sister, took her back with me to FAMU, found out my dad sold my identity to a crackhead because he was on drugs. So that's how I got, I was a victim of identity theft, and I had that 513 credit score. So at this point, I was like, you know what? I'm not going through this with my daughter or my sister. So I'm about to learn what I can. So I worked at a bank, and I was like, okay, I'm going to work at this bank, learn what I can, expose them, because I thought all banks were evil. And I just knew I was going to go on Channel 12 News, the investigation, and expose all of their secrets.
Thought you was going to be a mole, honey. They was
Listen, I had
blow it
my
up.
suit picked out and everything. I was practicing, like, how I'm going to hold the mic and everything. But come to find out, it was just a lot of great information that I learned. And, like you were saying, it's so difficult. I had to get a thesaurus just to look up words. It took me like 3 weeks to register what it said, but eventually I got it. So the good part. So I saved up $10,000 my last 2 years at FAMU, purchased my first house at 23, worked at a bank, managed $31 million with Regions Bank, and then later went to Charles Schwab where I managed $3 billion.
Wow.
And so I'm 35 now.
Yes,
By
ma'am.
the time I reach 42, I should have a net worth of $500,000.
Hello.
That is
Yes,
awesome.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
That's
yes.
an amazing story.
That is a powerful story.
That is
Yes.
insane. So can't no one? Well, maybe some. Yeah, I can say I
Can't
had a
no
bad.
one?
I was. Can y'all tell me your story is bad? I mean, you can. Everyone has a tough story. So with this leading the way,
Yes.
you can't say
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Right. And so using examples of, if you're a single mom and you have kids and you got bills due and you're trying to go to school, like, how can you do all of that? Let me show you. I got you. Let me tell you what I did. And this is how I, went ahead and created my wealth.
Right.
So one, making sure they understand that I'm a real person. This is not stuff that I just read or, stuff that I just assume is great. Like,
Right.
I know what the struggle is like. I know what it's like not having nothing, but then trying to start from a negative to come to a positive. So one, they need to be able to connect with me. And two, see and realize that we have the same mindset. Then they're listen.
Right.
And so then we go into the real meat and potatoes of how they can start building wealth as teenagers.
It's something that me and my friend was talking about this weekend. We made a joke that now what people are starting to do, they're starting to file for bankruptcy like it's something easy just to get rid of like small amounts of debt and to start over. you didn't? Did you do bankruptcy
No,
when you were
not
going
at
through
all.
that?
Not at all.
Do you even suggest bankruptcy? When is it a good time to file for bankruptcy if you you feel that your credit's too bad or you owe so much money?
So with that, I would definitely recommend or say you need to sit down and have someone review all of your finances. So making the decision to file for bankruptcy shouldn't be taken lightly. And it's not that, oh, you have a 418 and you owe $800,000 or you owe $6,000. It really just depends because I've seen people who were in horrible situations, but they had a plan, a written plan, and they were able to get through it. Then I've seen some people who did not have a written plan, and because everything was coming to them at once, then they filed for bankruptcy. It really depends case by case on the person and their situation.
So before we go into, can I ask how the hell did $4.2 million go?
Let me tell you, girl. So this is how you lose
it's in my
$4.2
mind,
million.
and I want to learn how to get out of it, but how do you lose
Still can't wrap your hand
No,
around
I can't. I'm just sitting here like, okay, this is cool now, but until we speak about how you got rid of these $4.2 million, I can't. Okay, tell me.
So after we received the verdict, the hospital wanted to countersue. They said, you know what? Your mom was 38 years of age. She was an alcoholic on house arrest and just hit somebody in a hit and run. She didn't have the quality of life worth $4.2 million. And they agreed with her. They agreed with her and said, you know what? We're just going to give you 2. So after we pay our attorneys, because they get 33.3%, they get their money off rip. Then, because we were minors at the time, the state of Florida automatically appoints you a financial guardian and then also a legal guardian as well. So with that, they chose my father, which I still love. May he rest in peace. Absolutely love my dad, but he wasn't the best with money.
Right.
He wasn't equipped to take care of that.
Exactly, and especially with his use of drugs and addictions, that wasn't the best thing.
So they didn't take that into consideration, who they're putting as the financial guardian?
Well, with that, he's our father, so he's a parent. You can't really argue with that at the time. So, but with that, we were appointed a financial advisor that managed our shares of money based upon our age. Now, that financial advisor did not have our best interest in heart. So he decided to rack up and do his thing, do illegal trades in order to make commission for him.
With your money?
Yes. And so that was a good portion of how it's depleted. But now I have to take ownership where ownership is due with my family. We purchased several cars from Buy Here, Pay Here. So they wasn't worth much anyway. Lasted for about 6 months. We went to the flea market, had a ball. Everybody got nameplates, right? Food galore. Not even like fancy stuff. Like you spend
Girl, you did hood shit.
Listen.
You were hood rich.
I told you. Yes.
Because y'all was rich, but y'all just living hood rich.
We were hood rich. And so, again, just didn't have that mindset to understand and grasp what to do on a responsible basis. Like, if you only know what you know, you only know what you know.
My friend that got that amount of money, he was 18. His mom ended up dying at her job. She was locked in the bank, and she ended up suffocating. So the family won.
She got locked up where?
She got locked up in the vault at the bank overnight.
She worked at the bank?
Yes, and she ended up suffocating. This was in New York. It's a very, very popular bank. I can't think of the name of it right now because I've been smoking CBD.
Bank of New York.
No. Fidelity, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
But anyway.
It's an investment bank.
I don't know.
Okay, go.
But anyway, they were both awarded I think $4 million, and then after the attorney's fees and everything, they were given 1.7 a piece or something. And he went through that doing nigga shit. He was living in New York with 4 brand new cars, a penthouse
You don't
apartment.
even need a car in New York.
Yes, exactly. That's what he was saying. And he was like, at every label, he still wear those labels today. Now this has been almost 15 years.
Well, at least
this
he got it.
That's the only thing he got.
That's how you know his expensive labels last for a long time.
But on top of that, he didn't pay taxes, so now he owes all of that money for
evasion.
tax, and didn't get a high school diploma or anything like that. So he lives a very, very bad life now.
I know
His
someone else
struggles.
that went the same way, $2 million and just bitches and clubs and clothes and food and flights and get it out. So now I understand everything that happened. I have a question. I'm
But-
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Was the man white?
What?
No, he was not.
What the fuck are you talking about? Excuse me.
The financial guardian.
He was not.
Oh, girl.
I was just curious.
I don't think that has to do anything.
sometimes it do.
Crookedness doesn't matter about color.
No, it do
anybody
sometimes.
can be crooked.
Because, how long ago was this?
So this was 2002.
Right. It was a long time ago. So they're probably like, oh, there's just some kids from the hood or something like that, and they don't
But
need
that
this money.
that was the mindset. Oh,
Yeah.
you guys don't know anything. And, you know, why would you put us in risky investments, right?
Mhm.
That
Instead
has
of, like-
nothing to do with us. That
Nothing.
doesn't match our risk tolerance.
So what I've learned and what I've got, it doesn't matter how much money you have. People say all the time, "Oh my God, I just have to hit the lottery and all my problems be solved."
That's
If
the
you do not
biggest
have
show.
a plan, yes, if you don't have a plan and actually budget yourself, doesn't matter how much you have, you still have to have
It's
a
gonna
budget,
go.
right?
Exactly. And for them, they usually go bankrupt, dead, or on drugs.
Every
in some
time.
form of capacity.
Isn't there a show about that on like TLC or
Yes.
one of those like it's
After the lottery, or something
Life
like that.
After Lottery or whatever it is? Okay, so now you guys are dead broke. You're in school. You finished. How do you start rebuilding? You taught yourself all these things. So where do you start?
So it really started with sticky notes. I know that sounds crazy. You wanted something more glamorous, but it started with me. One, I had to go to the grocery store, so I was trying to create a list of things that I needed for my daughter and my sister. Then it turned into what type of lifestyle I want for myself and for my daughter. So I started to write houses, and I want them to not know what it's like to stand in the WIC line and have people judge you based on you being in that line. So the first thing that I had to do was convert all of those sticky notes into a written plan for myself. So what type of credit score I want to have, what type of house I want to buy, what type of situations I want to put my kids in. And then I had to make savings personal. The reason we don't save is that we hear, oh, you should save for a rainy day. But why? Like, okay, it's raining. It rains in Florida all the time, but what does that mean?
Right.
And then there's no personal connection. So what I even tell with my students, you have to write down why you're saving, and you have to make it personal. So if you're saving for a car, what you going to name that car? So if you're going to name it Black Beauty, once you have that savings account, label it Black Beauty. So when it's now time for you and your friends to go out, oh, you know, let's go out to the club or let's go out to eat. You know what? I can't. I gotta pay Black Beauty, like, and then they looked at me like, who the hell is Black Beauty? Like, are you cheating on me? Like, are you going to the strip club and you're not taking me? I'm like, no. That's the type of car I want to have. And so I started to engage with, you know, why I needed Black Beauty or why I needed to have my house, which I named it Songbird 2025 after the floor plan. And I had those accounts. So each time my friends saw me, how is Songbird 2025 doing? And they would give
Accountability,
me $5 here and there to reach my goal. But if I didn't make it personal, I wouldn't have had that connection. So that's step one.
That's beautiful. I like that.
I really like that. It's like a vision board.
Yes.
So we talk about this all the time. Let's do vision boards. Why are they? When we talked about journaling recently on the podcast, it's like if you're writing down what it is that you want, what it is that you need, where you're going, it's easier to have a plan, have a goal. So whether it's a 3-month goal, 6-month goal, year goal, how long was your goal with your house?
So I wanted to have that house before I turned 30, and I got it at 23.
Well, damn.
It ain't
Okay.
that hard about a house, man.
I know, but this is, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
She had
it's
a
great.
goal and she
By 30.
crushed
Yes,
that
she
fucking
did.
goal.
She did.
Now,
yes.
with that goal, okay, I gave myself X amount of years. I was like, okay, that's too long. I'm not going to reach it. So I broke it down per year, per month, per day, per hour, per minute. So it then changed me to how I wake up, the time that I wake up. So instead of waking up at 7, I woke up every day at 4:32 a.m. so I can study.
What?
That's how strict I was when it came to me getting that house.
If I was that
because it
strict, I'd be so
personal.
skinny right now.
I ain't got no comment on
Shut
that.
up. Don't have
So
no comment.
you talked about. So did you pay cash for your car? Because we all know that when you buy a car, it depreciate, right? It's
Right.
not. And I was taught not to buy
Brand new.
Yeah, brand new cash cars. So how did you? Was it you were saving for a down payment, or you're saving to buy it cash? What were you doing?
So for my car, my first car. So with the lawsuit, I did buy a new car. My sister, she helped me buy a new car. We bought a Daewoo. Did y'all even know Daewoo had cars?
I haven't heard
What?
that name in so long.
I have not heard of that. I don't even know what it
haven't heard that
looks
name in
like.
so
Exactly,
long.
because they're out of business. So
Yeah.
again, just having foolish decisions. Like if I had a Corolla, I probably would have still had it. But anywho, I had a Daewoo, 2001 Daewoo,
That bitch got a Corolla.
and so
I got a
Still
Camry. Chill.
Listen, I got a Camry too.
I got a
I'm
Camry.
sorry. I'm sorry.
And I love that
I-
bitch. It ain't going nowhere back. I'm waiting
That
for you
was
to
not
t-
shade. That
No,
was
I
a- that
know.
was com-
I'm
yeah.
waiting for her to say what she's going to say because I want to say something about my car. Go ahead.
So then I got into a car accident with my car. and it was totaled. So I needed a new car. So I was like, okay, I can just get a car loan. Went to buy here, pay here. And I had my credit pulled. And they laughed at me. I said, why y'all laughing at me? They was like, girl, you got a 513. We ain't giving you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not have the credit score to even buy a car from buy here, pay here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I went to my granddaddy, God rest his soul, he just passed away. And so for him, he was the person with the credit. Everyone else had bad credit, even the kids. But he had good credit. So I was like, Granddad, can you co-sign for me? And he said no. And I was in my feelings. So I was like, you know what? This will never happen again where I will have to be the borrower. Like,
Right.
I want to be the lender. So I bought a cash car. I bought a car for $2,000.
Okay, good.
1997 Toyota Corolla. And I had that until the wheels fell off. But with my friends, they were getting new cars, and their car payments were $275, and then their insurance bill was so high. I was like, you know what? That $275 I would have spent on car payments, I'm going to put it in a mutual fund each month.
And what's a mutual fund?
A mutual fund, well, it allows you to invest in the stock market. So instead of picking out a single stock, it allows you to pool your resources and your assets together with other investors and get it at a discounted price.
Oh.
So instead of Google costs too much for me to buy one share. But I may get a mutual fund that is invested in technology, so a technology mutual fund, where now I own Google, Apple, Microsoft, and the list goes on. And so instead of me paying $1,000 for one share, it's just $100 a month. $100 a month, $50 a month. So it really just depends. And so I put all of that, set it aside into a mutual fund.
Girl, my mouth just dropped because you just dropped some gems for me. Like,
Those
people
are
talk
gems.
about all the time investing into the stock market and all this other stuff. I know there's apps and things, and, you go to classes and they tell you, call some shit. I don't know. I went to a Tony Robinson thing and they were talking about how to invest into it. It still didn't make any sense to me. And I don't know if investing in stocks is a good thing, right? Most people don't know how to do it. So do you suggest buying stocks? Clearly you have a mutual fund, but you
Yes.
think that's the best way to invest?
So one, because I'm just telling you what I would do, right?
Okay.
So if I'm getting started out, and with picking stocks, there's so many of them and so many choices. And so we hear you need to have $5,000 or $10,000 to get started. With mutual funds, you can literally get started with $50. So what I would do is go to a discounted brokerage firm. So I really do like Charles Schwab
Oh,
because
I've heard
they
of it.
allow you to open up an account and just put $50 in. So each time you get paid, put $50 in that account.
Okay.
And so they have a mutual fund picker. Well, based upon, what you like, if you like technology, if you like precious metal, if you like consumer goods or shopping, whatever, then they have those categories. So you can pick what you like, what type of Morningstar rating that they have, and then you can just select, get the ticker symbol, which dictates the name of that fund, and then just put it in, buy it, and then you have that mutual fund. So
Okay.
yes, definitely invest.
So this is definitely for those that are like, how do I even start in stocks?
Yeah.
While you're educating yourself through podcasts, through a book,
Yes.
through reading, whatever it is that you're doing through YouTube, start with a mutual fund.
Yes.
And if you don't know where to start, then now you know exactly where to go to Google.com and say how do I start with a mutual fund? Where's an investment company? There's a financial advising company that deals with mutual funds and goes straight to them to open up that account. So that there we can eliminate that I don't know how to start with stocks. There's the bare minimum for you to start with stocks.
And even like you said with apps, so Stash and Robinhood are extremely good.
I've heard of
Okay.
Robinhood.
Yes.
Okay.
What
And-
about Acorns?
So I have not dibbled with
It's
Acorn.
stupid.
So
hate
I
it.
can't even say, but Robinhood is really awesome. Great products.
What do they do?
So with them, they are making investing for the average people, right? And so typically, if you go to a financial advisor, if you go to certain brokerage firms or investment firms, you need to have a minimum, or they will charge you for each trade, like $4.95, $9.95. It really just depends.
$9.95, like $9.95.
Yep, for each trade.
I'm making sure.
Yeah, so that's their fee.
Okay, $10.
So, and I was going to ask, when is the right time to hire a financial advisor? Like, at what point in your career or how much money you have saved should you go sit down and say, okay, this now is the time for me. I'm ready to speak to a financial advisor.
So I would say for me, although I love finance, I don't want to get too deep in picking each individual stock. So I have a financial advisor. Shout out to Kimberly Stewart, KRS Wealth Management. And so when I left my first job, I invested in their 401k.
Okay, so you have a financial advisor that makes the stock decisions for you.
Correct. And so once I left my first company that I worked with, if I'm not there, my money is not going to be there. So I needed to take my money out of my 401k and roll it over into an IRA. So at that point, anytime that you're changing jobs and you have contributed to your 401k, you need to take your money with you.
Yeah.
Every single
People
time?
don't know that. So, and I tell people, when it comes to buying a house, you guys, you can actually use your 401k for a down payment. You can borrow against your 401k.
Really?
And, when I ask people, how much do you have in your 401k, they don't know. I was like, well, I know I had one at 2 jobs ago. I don't know anything about it. It's like, oh, you could have taken this with you.
Take it with you. If you're not there, your money shouldn't be there. Simple as that.
Exactly. What happens to that money anyway when it's there, like when you leave it? Does it still continue to grow?
So, yes, it still continues to grow, but no one is really managing it.
Gotcha.
So it does whatever it does. So if there are, market situations, it's just there. So why not take that money with you and either roll it into your next company that you're now contributing to your 401k with, or put it in an IRA.
And which brings me to my next question. What's the best retirement fund? Is it
But
an IRA?
can we do that before? What is an IRA?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
We can
So
break
she's
down those
gonna
things.
break down the difference between a 401k and an IRA, so then we can figure out what to do with it.
Exactly.
Yes. So with an IRA, it's an individual retirement account. And so the 401k is typically associated with your company. Now, if you work for the government, it's a 403b, or 457 if you work for a nonprofit, it's about 403b as well. So it's, 3 different names for it. And so with the 401k, typically you're contributing money and your company is matching a percentage based upon what they're set. And so for the individual retirement account, the IRA, you yourself are contributing to your retirement by putting money in. So
No one's matching it.
No one is matching it. And so people always say, well, should I have a 401k or an IRA? No, they go hand in hand. They like peanut butter and jelly. Have both.
Okay, that was one of the questions that we had. Which one should you do first, and which one's better to have? So have them both at the same time.
Correct.
So maybe if you're gonna put 100 into the 401k, do 50-50.
It depends. So for me, with my company, they match up to a certain percentage. I never leave money on the table. So you know what? I'm going to contribute up to the percentage that they match.
Okay.
And then I may put, the remaining in an IRA. Now, for that, I definitely do recommend that you hire a CPA, because there are limits to what you can contribute.
Correct.
So if you balling out, you just got to be careful what those limits are. Very rare do people our age, max the amount they do, praises to you, do your thing. But most of us, we ain't there yet. But do both. As long as you give to both, if your company matches, make sure you take advantage and get all your coins.
So always match.
Yes.
Gotcha.
What was the question that you had? No, I'm sorry. Now
No.
we know what
So
an
we were
IRA
saying,
is.
what was the best retirement fund to go to? So you're saying that both of them are good. I mean,
Correct. But then also, it really depends on your risk tolerance. So are you conservative, which means that you don't like to lose money. You are afraid of what those changes are. You don't want to lose. You can be very aggressive, where you was like, you know what? I'm young. I got time on my side. The greater the risk, the greater the return. And you may just want to say, I'm going to go for it. So it really depends on which risk tolerant level that you're at. That
So
determines.
is that like something like Monopoly? Sometimes it's fake money, so we don't really care much. But let's say you have $10,000 and then you're in a high risk.
Yes.
And something happens and the 10 grand is gone.
Yep.
You're done? Like, your money's gone? There's no way to make it back.
So, yes and no. So, what people believe or what people may think about the market is that it's meant for long-term use. So if you have $10,000 and you're afraid to lose it all, then maybe we need to really look at what you're investing in and why you're investing.
Okay.
So you have to understand that it goes up, it goes down, right? And so with that $10,000, again, making sure that you do have a hired financial planner that is working with you and with your goals, they can help you adjust your allocations. along with helping you understand the market. But then also what you invest in, there needs to be a balance. So if I have stocks, then I need to have bonds because they have an inverse relationship.
What is
Meaning
that? What
when
is a
one
stock?
goes up, the other one is down. When one goes down, the other one comes up.
What's a bond? So we know what stocks are. It's a
Yes.
stock market, and we're
Yep.
investing into a public company. So whenever you guys hear there's an IPO for a company like
Yes.
Uber recently was
Yes.
going public, that means that now we can buy shares into this company because
Exactly.
it's no longer private.
Yep.
So what is that's a stock. So now
Yes.
what is a bond?
So a bond, the best way I can describe it, think of 408.
Okay.
So a bond is a debt instrument where a company needs to raise money. So now they're going to the public, and the public is giving them money for a particular item.
Okay.
And with the bond, that is their, I would say receipt, again, making this very layman terms. So their receipt saying, nah, I own a part of you. You need to give me my money when this matures. So when states, municipalities, they need to raise money, typically they'll, issue some bonds where the public, they can come and buy some. And then each month they may get a return, quarter, just depends on how they have it set up. And then once that bond matures, then it matures. But the 408, so they used a bond in order to pave the road, in order to build the
408,
infrastructure.
sorry, you guys. 408 is a expressway here in Orlando. It's a toll road.
Yes.
It's on top of
A
that.
local
so,
expressway.
Yeah.
Yes.
So go ahead.
So they
sorry.
use bonds to create the
Correct.
408?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So people invested into that.
Yep.
I should've-
And so and,
If
and
we
so
would have
that's
known,
why
I would have put a couple dollars in that bitch. I had money back then.
Yeah, I mean, most black people don't know about these things, to be honest with you, because it's not taught, and we don't have uncles or daddies that, or
Right.
cousins that do this stuff. So, yeah.
Right. But then also you have to look at why it wasn't taught. So it's not a coincidence that it's not taught. It was by design. Going back into when Social Security was created, they within those Social Security benefits and within those regulations, they put, farmers and immigrants, they can't participate in SSI benefits. Well, who were majority of the farmers and the migrant workers at the time? People of color.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we talk about the GI Bill, it was great for, people that were not of color. But when we try to use the GI Bill, oh, no, this isn't for you. Even look at banks. So they have a CRA Act, which is the Community Reinvestment Act. And then now they have regulations that came out in the 1970s where they looked at banks. You know what? You got to have a bank in all communities and not just the wealthy. You need to make sure that you take care of everybody. So with the system that we had in place, it wasn't 100% inclusive for all of us. And then also we didn't trust the banks.
Yeah, we don't.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we still don't, which I think at this point in time we can. There are black-owned banks. I don't know the names of them. I probably should.
It's United One is a
Yes,
black-owned
in
bank.
Miami.
It's in Miami, and it's not none here locally. You still
No.
can invest. You're gonna put your money into the United One thing, but you won't have a
Right.
branch you can walk into unless they have shared branching. So
No, they don't.
they don't. Okay, well, yeah, that makes it difficult to invest in black banks because we hear that all the time. Invest into black banks, but there's no black banks here for us to invest in unless you know any
Right.
here in Central
What
Florida.
about
There isn't any in Central Florida.
high interest bearing accounts? So I know, and one thing that drives me crazy is when people say, "Oh, I have a savings account with Bank of America," and I'm like, there's nothing there. You're getting like 0.01% a
So
year.
this your purse, right?
Yeah.
I can gather all the change in your purse, sit it here, and that would be your interest for the year. They
It's not
earn
bad.
0.001%,
It's
and that's just me
ridiculous.
being nice.
Yeah.
So with high yield interest checking, or what high yield
High-yield
interest bearing accounts, savings, and all of that, typically you can go to an online bank where they don't have a brick and mortar.
Right.
All of their services are online, so they typically have a higher interest rate. So if you need to have that, or once you have that savings account, you can go there to put your money in, and it can earn higher interest. Also, if you know yourself, if you know you get caught up on the Macy's one-day sale, which they always having a one-day sale, but that's a different
Always.
topic. Like every day is a one-day sale. But if you know yourself and you get tempted and you know that you can talk yourself into doing anything, you know what? If I take this money from my savings, I'm going to put it back. I'm going to do this.
Right.
We know you ain't going to put it back because I don't put it back. So you can have it in that separate high interest bearing account because typically it takes 3 business days for you to get it.
So I actually personally, when I first started my venture of leaving my job from accounting, what I did was I started a savings account, and I said I needed to have a certain amount of money before I left. And I said, what I sometimes will go is I'll use the money, you know, if it's for something. I have to set myself somewhere. So I said, where am I going to go? Where's a high interest bearing account? And Discover had one. It was 1.9. Right now, I went up to like 2.1 at one point in time. So it's very high for it's not like a mutual funds or an IRA or a CD or anything like that, but it's put away. I can't touch it. I can't transfer the money right away. It doesn't come instantly. So that's where I did it. And I believe in the first year, I had I think it was like $300 and something in interest. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That pays for like my credit card annual fee, my annual fee or something like that, you know, and that money, I can't touch it. And it stayed there and I kept growing it. And then what I did was I set a certain amount to go from my checking account to that account every single month.
Exactly. And you forget about it.
You do forget about it. Now some people are like, oh, but I can't touch my money. A lot of people, well, I don't want to be able to touch my money. I don't want to wait 3 days. If you do need to pay a bill, for any chance, like your light bill, you don't have it in your checking account or your card payment, you can make a payment out of there automatically.
Exactly.
So you can't get cash, but you can say, I'm going to pay out of this account. I can pay my credit card out of there if I needed to or whatever it is. So it is available to pay a bill online. And I don't know of anyone, I think do you still have checks? I don't own checks.
Yeah, for my business, I write checks.
Right. I don't have a check. Like, I don't even know what a checkbook looks like anymore. So I'll write everything out of there if I need it to, if I want it to, you know. So don't think about you're not going to touch that money or you can't see it for 3 days. If you need it that bad, you can get it, but you shouldn't have to touch it because you're on a plan.
Exactly. And it's a savings account. Now, with the savings account, they do have restrictions where it's designed because they don't want you to go and tap into it. So typically, I think it could be 6 to 12, just depending upon your bank. I want to say it's about 6 withdrawals per month. And anything after that, they'll start charging you fees. But it goes back into, okay, if you are constantly going into your savings account, then there's a bigger issue that needs to be resolved. So now let's look at your budget.
Yeah, and so how do you create a budget? Like, what are the things that you should categorize and how should you do it?
So, don't shoot me.
No.
I don't even like budgets. Let me tell you why.
Really?
So let me tell you why. Because the word budget, it sounds restrictive. I can't do this. I can't do that. And as human beings, we're going to show you what we can do. Like, don't tell me what I can't do. I'm going to show you what I can do.
Right.
So instead of a budget, I have a spending plan, which I have to spend and account for every single penny that I get. So I have no problem with spending money. Do y'all like?
No, I like it.
Yeah, we can do that. So with my spending plan, every penny has its place. So typically what I do, 50% of whatever I make, 50% goes to my fixed assets. So my mortgage, my car note, anything that has a fixed amount, the monthly payment does not change each month. Okay. It goes there. 20%, it comes to me. I save. Like, it makes no sense for me to be working for somebody else, or if I'm an entrepreneur working 70, 80 hours a week and don't have anything to show for it. So best believe I pay myself 20%. The 30%, the variable expenses, that is where that goes. So anything that fluctuate. So if I have, like, household expenses, like toiletry items or dining out or my food budget, then that will come out of that 30%.
So as an entrepreneur, I've had to pay taxes myself. So I have to have a separate savings account and that I pay into that's supposed to go directly to taxes. So how much do you suggest that we put away for taxes, for example, for entrepreneurs the people that are paid 1099, they get paid commission and stuff like that. What percentage should we be putting aside for taxes?
So with that, it depends on your philosophy with taxes. So me growing up in Riviera Beach, we had major holidays, right? You had Thanksgiving, you had Christmas, you had Martin Luther King holiday, and then you had tax season, right? And so what I always knew or heard about tax season is that I can't wait for this refund money to come because I'm a ball out. We going to the flea market. We're getting our hoops. So that's what I knew. It wasn't until I started working for a bank where I realized that by me getting this large refund, that means I'm paying more money to Uncle Sam. He's using my money all willy-nilly, and then he's giving it back to me after he used it and made more money off of it. I said, hold on, Uncle Sam. That's not how we roll. Like, give me my money each month, right? And then I will want to pay my tax bill.
Yes.
So for me, I always owe when it comes down to tax time.
And but you have all year to try to make something with that money.
Right. Yes. So what I do, currently I work for a company, but if you're an entrepreneur, so with the assistance of your CPA, he can tell you what your tax rate is. Or she. Yes, that's right. Equal opportunity. He or she can tell you what your tax rate is.
Gotcha.
So if you pay 17, 10, whatever it is,
It all
based
goes by
upon
your
how
tax
you
bracket.
feel. Exactly. Then, if you're estimated to pay $5,000, that's a lot, but that's how much I pay.
Oh, she got money. Yeah, you single?
I'm married.
Oh,
so,
just
yeah,
kidding.
I married my college sweetheart.
Oh, how cute.
And he was broke, too, so we doing this together.
Yes,
we really
ma'am.
did.
That's what it's all about. That's what
It
it's all about.
definitely is. It
But
definitely
Yes.
I'm glad that she said, you guys, getting a refund back. And Carla and I both said this during the tax
If you're
season
getting a big
anyway.
check back, you broke.
You-
Okay.
I'm not saying that you broke.
I am.
You guys are paying too much to Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is basically holding this money, and you're not collecting interest off of it. So you're able. I would.
If
like
you're
she
getting
said,
a large refund, best believe you're in debt and you ain't making enough money. You're living paycheck to paycheck. Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat y'all motherfuckers on here. I will not. If you're getting $10,000 in during tax season, that's not a good thing. That means you're living.
$10,000.
I know some folks.
Hood bitches
I
that
know
make
some folks.
$13,000.
And you know what they
Listen,
do? They go get their
$13,000
ass
a year?
done. You know what I'm saying?
When I used to work at a call center, in college and everything like that, you meet people that's 35, 40 years old, and they could not wait for tax season. I had one lady, she will only work a certain amount just to get up to like $13,000, $14,000, and then she would stop working just so she would be able to file
Let me
taxes
tell you, I
and
had
get that back.
7,000, 8,000 at one point in time, especially when I was working in the club.
'Cause you-
I, only made like 17,000 a year, and the check was real good. Especially if you have kids. When they have
Exactly.
3 kids, like 4 kids, they're getting all this money back. But really, these kids cost more. So it's 10,000. If you have 3
Yeah.
kids, it's 10K a month.
Yeah.
You're doing
It is.
nothing.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's so expensive. So you're really not doing anything with your money. So figure out, get your money back, and give yourself a plan. A 5-year plan is nothing. Before you'll blink your eyes, and before you know it, it's 5 years. I just turned 30 the other day. I'm already 32. Like
you
this
old,
is.
man.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm getting old and it's going by really fucking fast.
I got a long time before I turned 32, so yeah, you know.
Yeah, shut up. You're about to be 32 in no time, old ass. At least I look younger.
So great. You wrote that down. So we want to get into reading some questions that our
Yes.
listeners wrote
I
in.
do. Oh,
And
I don't
you
have them on
help
this
us
Instagram.
out.
I'm on the wrong one.
All right.
You have them?
Yeah, I do. So, what's the best way to fix your credit when combining a household?
Ooh, that's good.
Mhm.
So
That's Dominica _85. She's an avid listener. I love her. Go ahead.
that's awesome. So, for me, one of the things that helped me out when I combine households with my husband's and his credit score, so for him, like he was old school and we the same age. So when I met him, he didn't have a bank account. He just had a drawer full of checks, right? Never checked his credit score, anything like that. So when we combined our income, and at the time it wasn't that much because we just graduated college, because we were so accustomed to living apart and managing our own households of bills, when we came together, we saved my income for 6 months and only lived off his.
Good.
Oh.
So with that allowed us to pay off debt, pay off some student loans, but then also take a look at our credit score. Because at the time I already had a house, but I was like, this isn't our forever home. Like, we need to buy our forever home. So what can we do now in order to tackle our credit score? The first thing you have to do is look at your credit. You would be surprised how many people think they have a horrible credit
Yes.
score.
And it's not that bad.
Or they think they have a great credit score, and they never looked at it. Like, I knew a couple, they wanted to buy a house for 10 years, but just knew they had bad credit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until their 9th year they looked, and they had like a 710, which is
Oh.
really dope. Like, but they wasted 9 years because of that fear.
Yes.
When it comes to finances, it's not always about the equations or the numbers. It's an emotional factor. So you got to get rid of that fear. So 1, check your credit score, right? Figure out what it is. Then 2, now I know like y'all about to get some emails, some tweets, some something from what I'm about to say. Because I know there are a lot of companies who restore your credit, who do this and who do that. I feel there are enough tools and resources for the free $99, where you can tackle it yourself. You can write your own dispute letters. You can, speak to your creditors. Now, if you are so far in the hole where you owe a lot of companies, or, there are a lot of items that need to be disputed, there are nonprofit credit agencies that can assist you where, again, if they do charge you, it's little to nothing. And, or, it's a lot of times they'll do it for free. So try to exhaust those resources first in order to build your credit.
Great. And I want to tag on, to put my little realtor hat on. Guys, there's a lot of new construction companies that will fix your credit for free. I know the first thing that people come to me, they say they want to buy a house. They always say, I want to buy a house in the next 2 years. And my first question is, why? Oh, my credit. Well, what's your credit? And like you said, they don't know. And like I said, it takes a 580 credit score, you guys. That's the minimum to get a FHA loan, okay? For a conventional loan, which is private money, is 620 and above. So it's not really that high like you guys think. And like I said, new construction communities, they want you to buy a house from them. So they will put you into a program for free and get your credit repaired. And even go to your bank. Sometimes your bank will offer, credit repair services.
And, they do it for free.
They do
there
it for
are a lot
free.
of banks that do it for free. Some banks, they even have a little bus that comes around. You get on the bus, they fix your credit. You hop off and they give you like a gift card. No excuse.
And also check your credit monthly, you guys. It's something that you should monitor. You can't fix what you don't know. So like you said, your bank account, your bank may be able to let you see your credit score and what you have in your credit for free. I know my credit card companies does. When I log in and check my balance, it shows me exactly what my credit is and any derogatory terms, if there's any, or anything like that I might need to address. So, okay, great.
I have a great idea. Just don't get married. Don't put your finances together. Don't do that together. Your money, his money, your money, and that's it.
You're so crazy. Man, we're talking about repair now, baby.
Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Carla was multitasking.
I was multitasking. Oh, y'all passed the household one?
We did, babe. She went ahead and she went right into our question because one person we've been told that these credit fixers are scams.
Oh,
so
they
how
are
did we
scams.
get old
Who they
stuff
get told
off
by?
the credit?
We told you.
We just told you.
Okay, go.
All right. So what are your thoughts on saving bonds for children? I have some cash. I don't to just sit. Okay, I don't want just to sit in the bank.
So savings bonds, they were good in 1954.
Okay.
At this time, investing financial products have evolved. You can open up a 529 plan, which will allow you to save for college. You can open up an educational savings account, which again will allow you to save for education. You can open up a custodial account where you will put the money in and the kids won't get it until they turn 18 or whatever the age of majority is for their state. And you can save that way and earn a lot more interest than a savings bond.
What average would that be that you'll be collecting interest on something like that, saving for a child? Like, how much interest would you get off of that? What's the average?
For the savings bond or for the other accounts?
For the custodial bond for your kids.
So I know for my 2 kids, I have a boy and a girl. I think the last time I looked, they were earning between 4 and 6%. Yeah.
That is great. That's good.
That's really good.
Listen, they got money now.
and
that's
be okay.
And one of my questions was, how do we create generational wealth? I'm glad you said that. That's one way to create generational wealth. Put money aside for your kids, whether it's collecting interest in a savings account, or even save for the education.
Exactly.
That's one thing I wish my mom did, where we don't have to take student loans or anything like that. Because imagine you work for 4 years and you graduate making a job $60,000, but you owe $70,000 or $80,000 in student loan debt that you're spending the next 30 years to pay off.
And so another tip to that, what most people don't realize you can do, if you're good with credit and managing your credit cards, put your kids on as an authorized user.
Yes.
So
I got 4 years for Ryan. I should put her on my Amex.
You
I can put my
should.
daughter on my Amex.
Yes.
Piggyback in.
Yep.
Please go into that and
I
explain what
did.
piggyback
I didn't know you
in
could
is.
do it with I knew you could do it with an adult. I didn't know you could do it with a
Yeah, you
child.
do it with a
listen,
child.
if you can ruin your credit at 8,
You can grow your credit.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
put
you
that
can.
girl on now.
listen,
Yeah.
you hear all the time about kids before they're 18, they have horrible credit scores. Look at me. I was 16 when my dad sold my identity. DirecTV tried to get me for $982.72. It took me 2 years to dispute it.
Jesus.
I wasn't even 18. So for my daughter, she's 15 now. When she was 12, I put her on as an authorized user. And so with her, every year we'll check her credit report just to see what's on there. So for that, we actually have to file since she's under 18. She has a great credit score. And so the next houses we're buying, we're going to put their names
Yes.
on the house.
That's exactly what you do.
That
is
I
so
know people,
dope.
you see stories about people buying houses at 18, 19. It's because their parents put them on as authorized user.
Them Jenners.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And now they have an extensive real estate portfolio. And again, creating generational wealth. You're already setting your kids up for success at a very young age. So great.
Yes,
This
and
is-
also, so with gifts, my kids don't get gifts.
Come on.
Wait, what do you mean?
They don't get, listen, we'll give you a cake. you can open up a present, but you don't get expensive gifts. Because in 2 years, they don't remember what they got, or they
don't.
want something else.
They lost
so
it.
instead, what we do, we ask our family members and friends, here's the link to contribute to their 529 plan. So now they're investing in their education. So that's one. But then also, they're going to travel. So we have an account, and it's called Did You Travel? And the DID stands for Domestic, International, Domestic. We try to take at least 3 trips per year. They get to pick out where they want to go as long as we have the money in that account.
Wow.
So we want to expose them to other cultures,
Yes.
which other cultures can increase generational wealth.
Yes, exactly.
Can you just reassure everybody this is a black woman talking?
This, a whole black woman that graduated from FAMU.
Yes.
From Riviera. What you said?
Riviera.
Riviera.
Riviera Beach, yes.
But you see, like, listen, I've seen this in real estate. I've learned so much, not because of what I was taught, but from what other people, and it's usually people that are white that have already done this. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know anything about this. No one in my family knew nothing about this, and it's so easy and it's free to do. So great, stop buying these kids Gucci, and you guys, this whole City
You're
Girls
not gonna fit in
song.
this damn Gucci.
He gonna buy me Gucci if I ask for it. Tell that nigga to put some money in a damn savings account and a Roth,
Exactly.
invest into
Right.
put a down payment on a house for you. That's what you do instead of getting a damn Gucci purse.
And
Yeah,
a recent article came out about poor people spend, I think, 5 times more on prom than the wealthy families.
Well, mine
This
didn't even
damn
go. We
That's a
spent
social.
zero.
That's a
We
social.
spent zero. Same
That's a
thing.
social.
It's the
Stop.
8th grade prom.
Stop, but these kids, you're right. We were just talking about how elaborate these damn prom dresses and stuff are. These people renting
Ayana's friend
Bentleys and
spent
stuff like.
$200 on a dress for 8th grade at the Grand Bohemian.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
talking
just
about
like
$1,000 like couture gowns and stuff like that you're
What?
buying. I don't even
Custom-made
remember.
gowns,
Yes,
$4,000.
for high school.
What?
Yeah, you don't know. You haven't been seeing
lying.
this high school, this prom season.
$4,000 for a gown.
Yes, these kids are going in. They're acting like they're coming to America. Like that's how they really are coming out.
That's
these kids are going
foolishness.
to the Met Gala now for these proms. It's
That's
just
some
getting out of
bullshit.
hand. So yes, stop dressing y'all damn kids up. I had to pay for my own damn tuxedo, and I got it on the budget from a flea market. Damn.
No, but I love that. I feel like if for the parents at least that are listening to this, if there's anything that you take from that, it's invest in your kids now.
Exactly.
Ayana finna get one gift tomorrow. She gonna be so mad about this episode.
She said she doesn't buy her any gifts. She put it into a savings account.
She said one gift.
No, she said a cake.
You said or a gift.
For Christmas. So now,
Oh, not birthday?
so it's up to you. Now, they
Yeah.
may get one thing that they really like. So for my daughter, she's turning 16 in July. She wants a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
We can rock that. We can make that happen. But best believe, like, so,
I don't want
okay.
makeup.
Now, for makeup, maybe invest in a makeup company. So you can go into that store and say, you now own this store or you own this company. So it still has ownership and they still take pride in the makeup. But now to say I own a portion of this company is just
Right.
so much powerful.
That is so dope. I will talk to her about
So
that.
we already answered this question: percentages or amounts that we should be saving every month. You said 20% is what you pay yourself
For savings, minimum.
for
Yep.
minimum. So one guy, and I think this what time? I guess we're doing.
Yeah, we have to
One
wrap
guy
this
said, "What type of REITs does she recommend?"
REITs.
REITs.
So that is the real estate investment trust.
Okay.
So if you want to invest in real estate, a good example of that is UCF. So around UCF, there are all of these apartments and all of that. So typically it's a company and they pull together resources to buy these commercial real estate properties. And then the investors, they do get a percentage of that.
Okay.
So for that, it really just depends. That's a loaded question.
Gotcha.
And, you know, most people, they want to invest in what's hot right now, but it's all about long and
Long
steady.
term, yeah.
Because for REITs, you know, they can fluctuate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have your emergency savings, if you're not contributing to your 401k or those other vehicles first,
Mm-hmm.
then you may want to hold off on that REIT.
When
I'm
we
glad-
first started, I'm sorry.
Go-
When you first started, you said something about a rainy day. We need to save money for a rainy day. That rainy day nowadays, I truly believe is an emergency fund.
Yes.
And I suggest to people usually 1,000 on their emergency fund. What do you suggest?
So 1,000
adults.
is great to start out.
Right.
But as you
To
get
start out,
more
for sure.
in the adult world, and it's like adult stuff that you don't even know about, like you got to renew your tag. I was like in my 20s before I realized that. I was riding it for a long time.
Me too.
You wasn't that long ago. It was the other day.
Bitch, it wasn't no other day. That was just that was a week, bitch. A week long process. Like,
November.
It went. I was riding dirty for 5 years.
Oh, shit.
Listen, I was there with you. I'm like, why I got to pay
I
to
was a
renew my
habitual
tag?
traffic
Like, what is
offender,
this?
girl. They got tired of my ass. They revoked my license.
But, you know, 3 to 6 months is the threshold to having your emergency fund. And so for my emergency fund, it is associated with my checking account. But anytime I reach that max, okay, if I've exhausted this possibility, now I need to put money into my intermediate goals.
Right.
Right.
So it's like just have that little bit right there, and then once you have that, when you're starting off, because I feel like most people are starting off. Isn't there like a huge percentage of people like don't even have $1,000?
Exactly.
It's like it's almost 80%.
It is 80%.
Don't have $1,000. Therefore, start with this 1,000 and then start paying off some debt. And then get that off until most of that debt is paid off, and then you increase that emergency fund, and then you increase where you're going to go in mutual funds, IRAs, your 401k, wherever you're going to put it, but have that emergency. I'm sorry, baby.
And then you may hear people say, well, how can I get to $1,000? Like, that's still a struggle for a lot of people.
Don't go to McDonald's.
So for that, there are ways around that, right? So anytime I go out, if I'm spending my money, I rank it on a scale of 1 to 10. 10, I need to have it. If I don't have it, I'm shooting everybody. Or a 1, like if I buy it, I'm not going to use it. It needs to be an 8 or better for me to buy it or purchase it with food. So even if I go out with my friends, they want to go out to eat, let me use my emergency food coupons. What the hell is an emergency food coupon? So if you go to Popeyes, if you go to Burger King, Longhorn, and they give you a receipt, typically on the back, it's a survey. If you take the survey, you get a free meal.
Wow.
So I take the survey, always put in a white envelope, leave it in my car. So if I'm hungry, but I don't want to spend my money, I pull out that emergency food coupon.
Girl, you better drop some
Listen,
damn gems on this podcast.
You know how many surveys I'm going to be doing, bitch?
Yes, because I have them. I always say I'm going to keep them. I never do them, but
Popeyes,
organize them and
bitch.
put them in a
Popeyes.
white
Yes,
envelope.
and do it right then and there. So when I go to Chick-fil-A with my friends,
Bitch,
Listen.
Chick-fil-A, you go every day.
I let them order first. So you order first, you give me your receipt. So while they doing their stuff, I'm doing my little code real quick. So when it's my turn, I'm getting this free chicken sandwich.
Girl, you're gonna be my best friend now. You're gonna be my new best
I
friend.
love that. No,
Yes.
if y'all ain't writing this down,
Yes.
you want to
It's
stay
good on the
broke.
podcast. You can record it and listen to what she just said.
Right.
So while we were preparing for this episode, one thing I came across I want you guys to understand and take away with you: stop looking to get rich quickly. Right. That's not the way you get rich. Think about long-term wealth, and that's what investing is basically about. So just take that away. You're not going to be shooting. You're not going to be a millionaire next week. And like you said, by what age you're going to have a $500,000 net worth?
42.
By 42 or $500 net worth. That means debt and everything. She has positive. That's her positive amount. That she doesn't owe anybody. That's how much money she's actually worth. $500,000.
Right.
And with your assets and everything like that included, right?
Yes.
So cool. Great. So we're going to go ahead and go to our next segment, Unsolicited Advice.
We are. This is an segment where we basically give somebody advice. They wrote something in. Sometimes, they're valid. Sometimes people are stupid. But I love stupid questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Only question you don't ask. No, there's a stupid question.
Girl, shut up and read this.
All right, sorry. It says, this is going to sound stupid. I didn't even know it was going to start like this. It's going to sound stupid to you, but it's something I haven't gotten over. I am so self-conscious of the way my body is shaped, and it makes me hesitant when getting close to guys. I'm a mix between an inverted triangle and athletic body type, which shouldn't really bother me because I know I'm healthy and in shape. But I hate that my shoulders are so broad. It makes me feel masculine. I'm not a teenager. I'm in my late 20s, but I've never been in a relationship, and it's one of my biggest insecurities. So I'm getting all in my feelings about it. Are any of you any similar shape or with someone who is a similar shape? Does it even matter to you? People always say, no, it doesn't matter. I love your body, but we'll crack jokes about Tasmanian devil-shaped ass hoes and bad built bitches.
What?
I've just read this back to myself, and it sounds stupid, but I hope you get what I'm asking.
I'll take this.
You get it?
I get it first. So I'm gonna speak from experience and everything. I'm gonna be vulnerable.
I can
with
speak
you
from
guys.
experience,
I'm gonna be
too.
vulnerable, but you wasn't as big as I was.
Oh.
So I understand your insecurity when it comes to your body shape and getting naked and stuff like that in front of guys, and it's just it kind of messes up the mood. To be honest with you, it's a lot of guys out there that actually love it. You're more concerned about your body shape than you realize and other people do, okay? But if it's something that you actually absolutely do have insecurities about, and it's because you start making changes to start, improving your body type based off of something that you want to see, okay? But it has to be something that you really want. It has to come from within and not to gain and seek the attention or the approval from anybody else. They're going to love it regardless. We have a friend. You have a friend that said they actually got more play being big than they did being smaller.
She talks about it all the time. It's Mandy from the Horrible Decisions podcast.
Yeah.
She'll be like, I had more niggas and I had more dick when I was a big girl.
Exactly.
I think it comes with, it's just for her, it's a little bit different because her status also has changed and her visibility. And I think who she is now as a personality in the media space does change things a little bit for her. And what she wants has changed as well.
But I know a lot of friends. I have a close friend that still gets play from a beautiful
Listen,
men.
big girls get these niggas, okay? And she's not saying she's big because she's saying she's healthy. She just, if you're born with a certain body type, there's nothing you can do. I will forever be squared. It doesn't matter what I do. I will be SpongeBob. My waist does not go in. I don't have hips. And there's nothing that I will be able to do in that gym that'll make me not squared. I can get thinner, and I've done it. I was in great shape, and I love the way I look. But I still sometimes will be like, damn, why can't my waist go in? Why can't my my hips go out? Why can't my ass be fatter? And all it took for me was to realize, this is the body God gave me.
Yeah.
I can't do much with it. Like, I literally am shaped like my father.
Yeah.
And I can't do nothing about it.
I want a big booty too, girl, but I just got my little tootie booty up there, and I just work with what I got.
Yeah,
So
just work with.
that's it.
There's the people that you're hoping that likes you, and these guys, the people that are talking bad about you. Like Lil Duval just went on, I think this week, and bro, I know you don't like him, but he put a post about like if your bad body's nothing you can do in the gym but get surgery, and it's true. If you're shaped a certain way, there's nothing you can do but get surgery. But you know what? You don't have to. You can just love yourself the way that you are. And I thought we will make fun. I make fun of myself sometimes, like just because I am squared. And I look at it, I'm like, well, goddamn, I can't wear that dress that I'm going to wear because I don't like the way it looks. But there's other things. Dress your body accordingly. I feel like if you're top heavy, wear like these skirts, like looser skirts with like maybe a top, and it'll make you look differently in clothes. So there's something you can wear. I cannot stand somebody who has a certain type of body type and dresses another. I can't dress the way Dex does. Dex dresses. Her and I can't wear the same clothes. And it's just not flattering. If you love it, if you like it, I love it. But a lot of the things aren't flattering. So wear what's flattering to your body type and love yourself the way you are. These other niggas that don't want you, it don't even matter. That's not who you want.
Girl, okay. So my whole thing is dress how you want to dress, girl. Dress
No.
what makes dress what makes you happy. Because Carla, dress. Listen, when you start dressing for the attention of other people, it starts to mess with your. It starts to mess with it. It's a self-esteem issue. For example, Jenna just posted a picture today when she was in a crop top with stripes. And then under she said, big girls should not wear stripes. Big girls should not wear crop tops. Big girls shouldn't do this, right? But she was like, I'm going to wear what the fuck I want and be happy in it. And I love that statement.
Jenna is a perfect example. Jenna wears that crop top, but she wears the crop top that's great for her body, that flatters her body. If you see Jenna, she is a plus-size girl, and she dresses according to her body. So the jeans that she wears, she's not wearing, like, I wouldn't wear a low-rise jean with a crop top. That's not what she's wearing. She wears these striped shirts, and they're loose. Jenna is beautiful. She loves being in dresses. She dresses according to her body type, and she looks beautiful.
So again, the point that I got from that is, okay, they do tell you big people shouldn't wear horizontal stripes. Big people shouldn't do that. And
you
it's just
can wear
not
it in a
flattering.
certain way.
Wear what you want, wear what's tasteful, and wear what makes you happy. We know a girl that's
and she shouldn't be wearing that shit.
But the bitch get play.
The bitch,
the bitch
play. Suck a lot of niggas dick because she be hungry.
Stop that. No, oh my God, that's so rude.
You know what she do.
That's so rude. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Girl, no, we don't know that.
I
don't
do
that. What, girl? Like you don't suck penis. Like
I do.
Okay, but that's not. So don't shame. Y'all stop shaming women for stuff like that. Like I'm saying, like
No.
girl, sis, be you. Be happy with who you are. If you honestly don't like what you see, you start making a change.
See, it's niggas like you who make these people wear stuff that's not flattering for them. There's something. What do you think about this one? You want to be the tiebreaker here? Wear what's flattering to your body, not just any willy-nilly whatever because you feel it good.
Shay is also a Delta. She's I love the Deltas. They're so beautiful.
So you tell me,
so
Shay, what's
classy.
up?
Go ahead.
Break this one.
So I may not be a tiebreaker because I do agree that every shape has clothing articles that fits them to a T. Now, there's this TV show on TLC, the 600-pound person.
I love that show.
They always have a mate.
They do. Always. I'm single as fuck.
I mean, and they mate is amazing. They feed them.
Did you see the one they bathe them? They pick up all the crevices and the fat and they wash under it with the washcloth
that's
or with
love.
the hose.
That's love. So
Love does not care. If somebody is out there for you, girl. It's somebody that like your little Tasmanian shape.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
It's somebody out there that like the fact that you wear crop tops and you got a stomach to hang over that. Some niggas really find that attractive. So, you know what? Be yourself and you're going to attract the person that's for you, okay? So like I said, if you want to change it, you change it because you want to change it. Don't do it because you care about somebody else that cares.
That's true.
Okay.
That's but we don't want to see certain people wearing certain stuff.
Yeah.
And
So
That's true too.
see, I be telling you, you almost you be seeing people out here and you're like, why are you wearing that?
girl, I don't have an opinion on what nobody else is
I
do. It's like you still gonna. People might be saying why you got curly hair like that and
I'm
your hair is
sure
all
they
wild.
do.
White people say it's so it's like we
They
need
don't
to
say
stop
that.
judging.
They
and
like
let
my
people-
hair. Shut up now.
No,
You
we
know
need, to
they
let,
like
we
my
need to
hair.
let people be who they are, and that's what I believe in. So be your individual self, girls. You don't want to look like everybody else. Like stop and look. Louisville Duval. The reason why I don't like his ass is because he says some ignorant shit out there, and the fact is he has the following that he does, and women follow him, especially the black following. We continue
He's
to
a
reinforce,
comedian, though.
but we continue to reinforce fucking insecurities to tell women that you need to go have surgery and all this other stuff.
He's
It's
not
like,
saying that. He's a comedian. You have to learn how to separate comedy and him just trying to be funny to like
So,
real life. I don't think he really means it.
Okay. All right. I digress because that's going to get into a whole nother thing.
Okay,
so we're going to go ahead and move into our next segment.
That's my favorite shit talk. What was I gonna say? Oh, my shit talk. I remember what it is. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that Ayana's social just passed, 8th grade social, and I told her that if she had any C's in her report card, she wasn't going to go. And I warned her of this 2 months in advance. When I saw that again, she was slipping with her grades. She didn't give a damn, thought I was gonna really let her go, and she wasn't able to go. She had 2 C's still, and again, I've been listening to other podcasts about parenting and stuff like that, and they're saying like how we shouldn't use the measure of success or how smart our kids are by their grades. And I truly believe that if it's that truly she's not great with math and she's trying her hardest, turning in her homework and just testing brings it down to a C. I'm not going to say you can't have this because you're just not the brightest there. But my child is actually pretty fucking gifted, too gifted sometimes for her own good. And she just doesn't do her work. So for missing work, I'm not going to reward you with a $200 dress to go hang out with your friends at the end of the year. Like, I don't care if your birthday's the next day. It didn't happen. She didn't go. So I sent her to school as the day before. And she sends me a text at like 2:00. And it's a picture from somebody else's phone. And it's a paper that says, petition to let Ayana Noisette go to, I need to bleep that out. To let her go to the social 2019. And I was like,
When you told me this, I fucking died.
I looked at this and I'm looking at it and I said, what the fuck?
If only she put that into her
And she
studies.
put it into her damn studies. So I look back and I said, well, this is a good try. Where were all these friends? Because it's 50 signatures.
Who you
I said,
telling?
where were all these friends when you weren't turning in your work? Where were all these friends when you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing? Why weren't they motivating you, you know? So she's not answering that. And it says red, so I know you're reading my shit. And she's not answering. And then I look further into because now I'm laughing. I'm like, this girl's something else. And I look at the paper in the picture, and all 50 signatures are the same pen, same handwriting, but like 4 different ones. So I said, this motherfucker sat there in class and wrote everybody's name from like an attendance list onto this paper and sent me this picture like I'm a dummy.
You know, back in the day, we used to have our friends, like, you used to get in trouble. Your mom said you ain't going to the movies and stuff like that. So your friends call you,
Right.
hey, you going to the movie? No, she won't go, but she'll probably say yes to you if you call.
If you,
Not my mama.
Not
my
my
mama will
mama
cuss your
either.
motherfucking ass out. You call her and ask, can I go to
Ayana
the
tried
movies?
one time that. Asked my mom, and I went to the look and I said, did I not tell her already? And they look at me like, oh shit, why did I come over here? Don't play with me, like don't come over here. So she didn't go. That I want to find a way to get my daughter to implement all the bullshit she got going on into her schoolwork so she gets that shit done. But now I just told her, listen, there's homecoming next year in high school and there's gonna be all these dances and all these fun things to go. Football games are gonna come up. You will not be at a football game.
Yeah.
You will not be at a prom if those grades are slipping. And only if they're slipping because you're not turning in your work. So, you know, if you're a parent out there, it was really hard. Oh, man, it was really hard. Because I felt bad. I saw Dex's daughter all dressed up. I saw Pup's daughter all dressed up. Like, I'm seeing all these pictures, but I'm like, you know what? You stay in your room and give me the computer because you're not going to sit there and FaceTime either and watch them there. They were calling her dressed. She's like, oh, my God, I love you. You wearing? I said, hang up the phone. Hang up the computer. You're not going to sit there and enjoy it from your room either. There is no enjoying tomorrow. When you go to school for the last day, you can see their pictures if they have any, but it ain't gonna happen. And it was really hard for me to stick to it because you know I don't stick to shit when it comes to
You
Ayana.
do not, girl. And I be trying to reinforce. I was like, girl, you better stick to it,
Ayana's
damn it.
about to
If
tell
I
your
had to
ass.
suffer when I was a child, these motherfucking kids gonna suffer too. If I got punished for some shit, but honestly, I'm glad I did because it really changed the way I did things. I got caught stealing one time, and my mama would not let me come to Orlando Disney and hang hang out with my friends during the last day of school. I was in
Damn.
the 8th grade too, and I paid the money I stole. I paid for that damn trip. So not only could I not go, the money I stole, I couldn't. It was gone anyway. My mom, I cried all night, and she would not
Yeah.
let me go. Nah, I don't steal. Period.
As you should.
So-
Well, you stole my pen yesterday, and you
I
stole my
brought-
lighters.
And I brought it back, bitch. Now the lighter is a totally different thing. Now, I'll forget a lighter and a pen. If it's in my hand, it's in my pocket. I totally forget. So my shit talk, we talked about the 408 and everything like that earlier. I want to say fuck the motherfuckers that are working on this. Fuck you motherfuckers that are moving here and causing all this traffic. Fuck you motherfuckers that are working on this 408. And fuck you motherfuckers that move South Street. So I'm going to it. They changed what they're doing. They're improving I-4 and they're widening it up. Okay, I was on my way to my therapy appointment, and it's also the last day of school, and it was around 3:00. What?
Also, you gonna blame you being late on these people?
Yeah, it's their fault.
Is that what you gonna do?
Bitch, it's their fault.
I'm telling your therapist.
That's it's their fault. So anyway, I leave. I get up my house. It's all these kids are getting off these damn bus. So every 5 minutes, I'm being stopped by a damn bus. Okay, and then I get on the road, and what they have done is they merged South Street and 408. So everybody usually takes the 408 to get home. So what they're doing is they're crossing over to the South Street exit to try to skip everybody that's waiting for the 408 exit and trying to cross over and cut people off on the 408 exit, therefore making me wait so they can do some illegal shit to cut somebody off, bitch, and make me late for my
I
motherfucking
do it all
appointment.
the time.
So fuck you motherfuckers that's trying to be fast and the furious and all this other stuff. Think you just gonna get 5 cars ahead, bitch. You still gonna get there at the same motherfucking time. Move the fuck out the way.
It's
I'm
not
so
true.
pissed
I'll
off
go
about
from
that.
the back to the front in a heartbeat.
I was motherfucking 10 minutes late for my therapy appointment. I still had to pay $90 for this bitch. I'm all motherfucking mad.
Yeah.
That girl did not. She look. When it was $350, she pulled out her swap. I said, "Oh girl, we done for real? You not gonna give me an extra? No, bitch, give me my
Bitch.
money." And then that's
Your therapist don't play,
She
y'all.
does not.
He called me so fucking frustrated. He's like, I was late. So I'm looking, I said, well, how late were you? 10 minutes. So does that mean your appointment was only 35 minutes?
It was only
Bitch,
35 minutes.
She didn't even give you a
She
discount.
didn't give me this. My therapist really teaches from a strength-based place, and she really
Strength
holds you-
based, she should have
she-
discounted
and
the price
she really
too.
and she really holds strength-based, and she really holds you accountable and stuff like that. So I appreciate it. I love it, and that's why my ass won't be late again. Usually I come 15 minutes early, but today it really was because
15
of the time.
minutes.
I do, bitch. I always get there 2:45, 1:45.
Therapist, if you're listening to this one, chime in because
She
I
will
know he'd
take-
be
I'll
lying.
give
You
her-
like 5 minutes
Girl,
early
kiss my ass.
sometimes.
Kiss my ass. Shay, do you have anything to say that you want to get off your chest? Anything that's frustrated you this week?
Ooh. Okay, so I won't name where I work,
Mm-hmm.
but I work in HR.
Oh, then you fired somebody today?
Yes.
They got fired.
Go ahead.
So what I will say, whatever you put on social media, please be careful that you're not friends with your coworkers.
Oh, what they wrote?
I'm not
She
even gonna
can't tell
say.
that.
Oh,
She can't say
damn.
that.
But I will say, be careful what you put on social media.
Along what lines?
Talking about other people that work with you.
Oh.
You know, people have gotten a little bit too
Damn.
lax with social media, and when social media
They get
first
fired
came
left and
out,
right.
yeah, when social media first came out, one thing the employees used to tell you: be careful about what you put on your profile, especially when you work with a
Right.
company that cares about their image and stuff like that. You know, so your ass can get fired for putting stupid stuff on
Yes, you
social
can.
media. So if you want a job,
And there's plenty of fake pages out there, and they'll follow you, and they'll
Beyonce
find out.
got one, and I'm pretty sure she'd be in the shade room comments going off on people. All
I
celebrities
doubt
do.
it. That girl got
Shit, how you think she sees a breast with all this fucking all this stuff that's going on in the world? Because she has a fake profile. All
I don't
celebrities
think she's
do.
commenting on the shade room.
I think she is.
You think so?
I
Like
think so.
trolling
I think
people just for the hell of it?
everybody, huh?
Trolling people just for the hell of it?
I bet she do. Bitch, I would. Let me be really, really fucking famous, and y'all say something about my work. I'm gonna go, and it's therapeutic. I'm gonna go ahead and create a fucking fake profile. I'm gonna go in them comments.
Go
I'm
talk
gonna
to
go
your
back and
therapist
forth with
because
you
that
and
is
go the
not
fuck off.
therapeutic,
Yes,
honey.
you're able to get it out and cuss people out and tell them what you really want to say.
No, you shouldn't be even reading on it. That's bad for your mental
I
health.
don't. Kiss my ass, girl. Kiss my ass.
You need a couple more therapy sessions, bitch.
Yeah.
Charge him $100 next time, lady. Charge him $100 next
So,
time.
Shay, I want to thank you so much for coming in and actually giving us some great advice that we can use.
Thank
I
you.
really do appreciate that. You really dropped so many different gems.
So many gems.
That people can really now you know exactly how to start a budget. Okay, you know exactly how to start an investment, how to start into a
The stock
stocks.
market.
And you know the difference between stocks and bonds. I didn't know the difference between stocks and bonds, so that was great. Thank
So
you.
this
girl.
is it's like elementary, but not really. You can do it whether you're working on your own, whether you're working for someone like
Mm-hmm.
a 9 to 5, like whether you're just starting to save for the beginning. So just you have no excuses now. This is your starting point, and just start. If you don't start now, you're never gonna start.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
thank you so much for
So
tuning
tell
into
us-
this. Oh wait, oh yeah, tell us how to
tell
find you.
Yeah, tell us how to find you. If anybody needs some financial advice, or tell us about the programs that you have going on.
You have a website too.
Yes. So our website is that's wrong. www.8cents.org. So again, 8 cents in a jar. We're an award-winning nonprofit.
Yes.
Getting our awards in, where we teach economic education and financial literacy starting as young as 8 up until 28 years of age.
Just
So,
here?
We're in Orlando. We have some opportunities that we've done in South Florida as well in 2020. We're going to have virtual opportunities, but still, we want to make sure that people get involved. So we will have that coming up soon, where if you're not in Orlando, if you're not in Central Florida, if you're not in South Florida, you will have an opportunity to take advantage of 8 cents in a jar.
Awesome.
And before we do get out of here, if you're watching this video-wise, we are recording at Custom Made Records in Orlando. Well, it's really long way, but it's right on the outskirts. If you want to book a schedule here, a podcast, if you're a singer, if you're a rapper, it's a full-service studio
It is.
here in Longwood. So I will tag them so you can come here and do all your needs. Well, I'm also doing a giveaway for consultations. If you're doing a consultation over and you're from Orlando, so the virtual consultation for podcasting are anywhere, you guys already know. But if you schedule a consultation from Orlando, I'm going to pick 3 people to get a free studio session here to record your podcast.
Cool.
So let me know. Get on the schedule at carlawimaris.com, and we will get you that so you can start off without, you don't need to do anything other than come in here, talk some shit, and walk back out and you have your audio.
Right. And since this was a financial education episode, you guys, I am Tony the Realtor. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest here in Central Florida, please give me a call. It doesn't matter. You have to start somewhere. It doesn't matter what your credit score or anything is. Call me and we can get you on the right path to home ownership. Home ownership is one of the best ways. It's one of the biggest investments that you can actually do. And it's one of the greatest ways you can create generational wealth. Okay. So the best time to start is now. Interest rates are still reasonably low. It is the best time to buy. So give me a call. All right.
Alrighty. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.